What's up guys, welcome back to another video. We're going to be reacting to a YouTuber by the name of Jack Allen. This video was sent to me by a fellow subscriber telling me to react to it, share my thoughts on it as well. His brand is self-mastery. All he really talks about is, I guess, how to be a better man. The mindset of a man, really. So, we're going to be reacting to this guy. Make sure to check out his channel if you wish as well. Let's get started.
So for the past 6 days, I've been away from home on a little mini holiday, if you want to call it. And for these 6 days straight, I didn't eat anything that was remotely healthy. For 6 days straight, I just ate ice cream, chocolate crisps, burgers, fizzy drinks. Literally for 6 days straight, I probably had a few mouthfuls of water. After doing this for 6 days, just no training, no exercise, just, 6 days straight of just being away, being in the sun, just eating terrible food every single day for 6 days straight. I then just realised that when you don't live with this internal compass and this internal roadmap of I am doing this is what I need to do, and when you don't have that focus on a task and I am doing this, then you just become a victim to everything around you. You just become a victim to your surroundings and to, do you want this? Yeah, go on. Do you want some of this? Yeah, go on. And everything is just yeah. And there is no real structure to living that way, because you will just constantly fall into the things that make you feel good in the moment but worse later. And when you constantly fall into those things, then you are constantly giving your future self pain. I don't drink and I don't smoke, but in the case of people who do drink and smoke, vaping and drinking alcohol, vapes are something that is so new in society, the way they are now in the shop, and they look all colourful. But if you don't have that internal compass and that focus on a task of I am doing this, it could be so easy to be vaping and drinking. Because I've been around people when they've had a vape, just in public places, say someone's vaping and they blow the smoke and it blows past you and you can smell it. You can smell the flavour and you're like, wow, that does smell nice. When you can smell it in the air. I've been around someone and they've had a vape and then they blow it into the air and it goes past my face and I'm like, whoa, that smells nice. That smells like some type of fizzy drink mixed with chewing gum, and it smells all sweet and full of flavour. And I just think, wow, it would be so easy to be doing that. And then once you start doing it, it's such an addictive thing to quit. So through not having this internal compass and this focus of I need to do this, this is what I should do, you can just fall into these things of drinking too much, smoking cigarettes, vaping, and then you're going to just dig yourself a hole that it's so hard to get out of in the future. You're going to destroy your body, so you're just digging a hole for yourself that then it's going to be so hard to climb out of. And all of these different things, like, in an ideal world, if you was excluding the pleasure from doing these things, it's not what you should do. And I'm not saying, when I talk about this, like, purpose or, this is what I should do, I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm absolutely not saying don't have fun, because in life you've got to let loose and have fun and laugh and joke and be a normal human being. But there's ways to have fun. I don't think in any scenario in life you should be sucking on a vape that has a battery inside that's been made in China for £1. It's been literally produced in China for 30p. Just some battery and it's oil inside, and it's like, you can have fun without doing that, but you only find yourself doing things like that if you don't have some type of purpose, some type of focus on a thing of, I need to do this, this is what I should be doing. You just find yourself doing dumb shit that you just know you shouldn't be doing, and that's it. You don't need to overthink it, and you don't need to overthink it and worry about it and think, but what's my purpose? Just, you need the purpose, because it's that internal compass and that internal roadmap to guide you away from doing the dumb shit, to guide you away from vaping, from smoking, from doing drugs, from drinking, because that's just no good for anyone. You can have fun without doing that. I like to say, when you do something like that, you've opened up the door for that thing. So if I say to myself, I don't drink and I don't smoke, then the door to drinking and to smoking is closed, because I don't do those things. But if I did it once, if I got myself a vape once and, had one vape, then that door's open because I've had a vape before. So what would stop me going in the shop and getting another vape? Because having one vape and having two vapes, there's no real difference there. But having never vaped, and I've never had a vape, to then having a vape, you've opened up the door to this vice. You can vape now because you've opened up the door to vape.
Yes. Why young men need a purpose, a strong purpose, he says. When you do not have a purpose, when literally everything in the universe has a purpose, even your life has a purpose, you plant that purpose upon your own life. The responsibility of having free will as human beings is providing ourselves with a purpose that guides us in our own special way to our destiny, to what we were meant to do, to fulfill our gifts, the gifts that God has given us. When you don't walk with purpose, you're walking as if you're just a snake eating its own tail. The Ouroboros. You're just living to die, but you need to live to make a difference. He was giving an example on why you need a purpose, and the purpose of your life is to preserve your own life. And when you're eating unhealthy, it's not preserving your own life. When you want to gain a strong body, a strong mind, you want to fulfill your purpose, you want to fulfill your goals, you need to live with purpose. You need to know, what reason am I eating this certain thing? Why am I doing these certain things? You can have fun, as he said. You can have fun. But as he said as well, there are ways to properly have fun. There's a purpose for fun as well. The purpose for fun is to not get burnt out from working all the time, to enjoy what you've gained through all the work, to enjoy the people around you. That's the point of fun. When you're coming home from a long day from work, you go on your computer and you play some video games with some friends. You're having fun. There are many other ways to have fun. Some people like to drink alcohol to gift themselves after a long day of work. I'm not saying alcohol is bad. Alcohol is not bad, but the overconsumption of alcohol is bad. Alcoholism and drunkardness is sin. As doing something simply for your own gain, nothing else. You don't care about anything else but yourself. That's what sin is. Living without a purpose. Just fulfilling your own pleasures, your own passions. That's why people often do not live with purpose, because they seek their passions, their pleasures, instead of doing things for a reason. which everything has a rationality. There's a rationality for your life, your own existence. There's a rationality for it, and you need to live by that rationality. You need to strive to do great things in the world. You need to strive to have a relationship with God. I didn't want to interrupt when he was speaking. Obviously, this is a video. I can pause whenever I want, but I like to give people time to speak before I give any outlook on my own thoughts.
Open. I feel you need that. You need purpose, and you need a strong purpose, because without it, you can just so easily flock to the negative path and to the negative things like drink and smoke, and then before you know it, you're getting yourself addicted to a vape. You're getting yourself addicted to a bubblegum ice vape. And now that's what you do, and it's so hard to climb out of that hole. And
yes, of course, it's easy to lose track of your purpose. We're human beings. We're singular people who live dependent on our own work, dependent on our own purpose. That's why people oftentimes drift away from their purpose, because in reality, yourself is all you've got. If you don't strive to push yourself, then you is all you've got. You is all you've got if you don't strive to go beyond yourself. But that's the purpose of life, to go beyond yourself, beyond your own being, to strive towards others, to have relation with others. The highest form of relation, of course, is a relationship with God.
you know, to to follow the positive path, you need to set yourself a positive purpose. Just something that has meaning to you, where you're like, I need to do this. Whatever it may be, set something to you and give yourself a reason why it has meaning. And if you can do that, then you won't just flock to the easy things, to the drinking, to the vaping, to the smoking, to doing the dumb, stupid stuff that you know you shouldn't do. You won't just flock to that if you have this internal focus and this internal roadmap of what you know you should be doing. Because then, if you do flock to these easy things, you will so easily snap out of it and think, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? This isn't what I do. Why am I doing this now? And you will so easily just snap out of it and get back to doing what you know you should be doing. And only positivity comes from that. Focusing on gratitude, focusing on being positive, thinking positively, being positive to people in the little interactions you have daily, thinking positively about yourself, having the self-respect to wanting to be in shape, wanting to look good, wanting to present yourself in a nice way.
I'm going to tell you guys, this is why men these days, and especially young men as well, we so easily get addicted to things. We so easily forget who we are. It's because no one, including ourselves, places a purpose upon us. We need to have a placement of purpose upon ourselves. You need to have willpower within you to actually put a purpose to strive towards something greater. In my own experience, people used to bully me when I was a kid because of how I was, how I acted. People still, in a way, bully me, but it's not just me. People bully each other, but we don't realize it. We define others by how we treat ourselves, by how we see ourselves. We project ourselves onto others most of the time. But if you live with purpose, you don't project yourself upon others. You don't just flow on the water, just flowing with no direction, no sense of direction. Not even animals are like this free moving object in the water with no purpose. This is why we as men have forgotten who we are, and we as men have become addicted to such terrible things. We need to find our purpose. Why do you live? You have these feelings. How am I going to fulfill these feelings? Am I going to fulfill them by seeking to please my own emotions, or am I going to fulfill them by seeking others. We need to recognize this. And that's how we're going to be free from as much sin, as much confusion, as much wickedness as possible. This is how we're going to live a healthy life.
But it all comes with that internal compass and that internal roadmap of I need to do this. This is what I need to do. So avoid the stupid shit. Just avoid the vapes and the alcohol and all this stupid stuff. That's what it showed me when I had these 6 days of just no real purpose, no real meaning to anything. Sitting around eating ice cream for breakfast, eating chocolate, fizzy drinks, burgers, just everything, anything I wanted. That's what it showed me, that if you don't have that internal compass and this purpose, you can so easily just flock to the things that will actually leave you feeling really negative in the long run. In a couple of weeks of doing this thing and following this path, you're going to start to just slowly dig your own grave, where then after weeks of doing this thing or months of doing this thing and following this bad path, then you're looking at yourself like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But then it's harder to climb out of the grave that you've dug yourself. So I would say focus on the positive, focus on the good, gratitude, being positive in the little interactions you have daily, having the self-respect, disciplining yourself, doing the training, looking forward to the future of I want to be like this is what I want, this is what I need to do. And if you can do that, you won't find yourself engaging in the stupid activities like vaping, like drinking, like smoking, like doing drugs and just going down that negative path. You won't be doing that if you have that purpose and if you have that internal compass to help guide you to living a positive life.
Alright, so that's the end of the reaction. I told you guys my thoughts. How are you going to apply this into your own life? Comment down below and let me know if you need help with anything.